Lizzie?
Yeah?
What time do the garbage trucks arrive?
In about an hour. Why?
Oh, nothing.
Has that got anything to do with your escape?
What do you want?
Why don't you come and find out?
Get away with this.
What's the matter, Peterson? Lost your screw mates, have you?
You said you'd handle things from here, Murray. Let's go.
I've seen that knife before. Edward's got it off me. There's only one way you could have got it off her. He killed her. How'd you do it, Peterson? You're no match for Edwards. She could take on two of you without even drawing breath.
What are you talking about?
Getting rid of Edwards, that's what.
I didn't kill Sandy. She was alive when I last saw her.
Oh, she just gave you the knife as a going-away present, did she?
What's going on? Is that you, Peterson? I'm sorry, Mrs. Powell. I had a slight accident.
What happened?
Well, I slipped and dropped the dishes. Get that mess cleaned up and get back to the kitchen. Yes, Mrs. Powell. Mrs. Powell?
Oh, where's that bloody Mary? She's holding us all up.
Yeah, come on, let's take a smoker. There's no point in getting too far ahead.
Might as well.
Well, why don't you work the press, Jude?
Oh, I've got enough problems of my own without adding to them.
What do you mean?
Well, it's more than just a job, love. It's a sort of tradition. Top dog job. Bea took over from Mary years ago and was doing it ever since. And then when she got sick, Sandy took over.
Yeah, you see, if I got on that press, it'd be just like smacking Maury in the face, and I'm not interested in doing either.
Oh, it seems silly fighting over a rotten job like that.
Yeah, it is.
We've got to do something about her, though, Jude. Now Bea's in isolation and Sandy's disappeared. She'll take over again.
Well, what do you suggest?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm buggered if I do either.
What's happened in here? A total eclipse?
Huh. One of the cogs in the machinery's lost its bearings.
Where is she?
In the loo, Mr. Fawkner.
All right. I need a volunteer for kitchen duties. Oh. OK, Driscoll, you got it.
Don't you know better than to volunteer for anything around this dump love?
Where have you been?
Sometimes a lady has to take her time, Mr. Fawkner.
Oh, how would you know?
Get back to work.
About time, too. Where you been?
Minded my own bloody business, which is something you ought to try.
Peterson. She claims she's being threatened by the other women again.
although she doesn't mention any specific names.
Sometimes I wonder whether she isn't a little paranoid.
Yes, well, I thought perhaps a transfer to Barnhurst might alleviate the problem.
Well, ordinarily that would be all right, but with the extra charges proceeding against her, I can't see the department allowing it before her trial.
Yes, but something's got to be done. There doesn't seem much point in transferring her to another block.
No, you're right. I wonder if we were a little hasty in moving her into a single cell. Perhaps we should let her share with someone she can rely on.
Like who?
Oh, Judy Bryant is easy to get on with. I'll have a word with her.
Suppose it's worth a try. Do you want me to bring Bryant in?
No, I'll see to it.
Exercise period. I better get outside. I'm probably needed.
What's up with her?
I don't know, but she's cooking up something, that's for sure.
Hello. Old po-face has spotted her. You reckon we ought to warn her?
Oh, yeah, I think that's the decent thing to do. But we'll have to be quick. Now, do you want to shout out to her, or should I?
Oh, would I? I seem to have a bit of laryngitis at the moment.
Oh, you poor thing. My throat's not too good neither. Oh, we're too late. We missed it.
What a shame. I can't bear to look. Come on, let's go inside.
What are you doing here, Winter?
Just looking.
What for?
Snails. I thought I'd rustle up some gourmet tucker for tea.
Get back with the others.
What time's the next train to Thunder Street?
Come on. Get out. I suppose you had nothing to do with this.
Me? Oh, no, Mrs. Powell. I never told no one.
It was such a stupid thing to do. Now, what did you hope to achieve? Oh, get off the governor's office.
Just thought I'd hit you right out of here in the garbage truck.
Listen, are you mad? The only ride you would have got would have been to the morgue. The truck compresses that garbage. You could have been crushed to death.
Got to admit that young Susie got plenty of guts.
Yeah, she's probably got hepatitis as well after that caper. You coming in?
No, I've got something stuck in my teeth. I'll see you in a tick.
Okay. Oh, Mrs. Davidson, I wasn't expecting company.
This is an unofficial visit, Judy.
Oh, have they set the date for my hearing yet?
No, I haven't heard. Has your solicitor been able to trace that other girl involved?
No, but then you can't expect miracles from legal aid.
How are you getting on with the other women?
Great. I mean, it's always the usual carry-on, you know. You learn to live with that.
True, but you never seem to accept the pecking order as a way of life.
Well, I'm not one for fighting. I try and stay out of it.
Well, there are some who don't share your success.
Like who?
Kate Peterson?
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised.
What do you mean?
Come on, Mrs. Davis. If you're trying to worm something out of me, forget it.
No, I'm not. I want to move Kate into this dormitory.
Well, so what? You never asked my permission before.
I think she needs to be with someone who is quite level-headed.
I get it. You want me to babysit for her, right? Do the screws job for her.
The officers will keep her under surveillance as much as possible, but there will be time when their vigilance will slip a little.
Bound to be.
That is why I'm asking you about the move. I want your cooperation.
Mrs. Davidson, Kate is no friend of mine. I'm not interested in going out of my way to protect her.
Fine. All I ask is that you don't turn your back on her should the need arise. Thank you.
Hello, Lizzie. G'day, Mrs. Davidson. What old Davo want?
A sandwich.
Eh?
Kate on one side, Mari on the other, and me the tomato in the middle.
I just don't understand you. All of these ridiculous escape attempts, it only means you're going to spend more time in here. Now, you could have been out on your 16th birthday.
I saw a war film once about these guys who all escaped from a German prison camp. Steve McQueen kept getting out, and it didn't matter how many times they dragged him back in, he still kept going. He used to sit in his cell and bounce a baseball off the wall and plan his next break.
Real life isn't a movie, come on. Well, Mrs. Powell, what is the problem? Susan thought the industrial waste bin would be a pretty good place to hide. Bring her in. Well, Susan, what do you have to say for yourself?
Nothing, Mrs. Davidson.
This is what, the third time?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
I have purposely neglected to punish you on previous occasions, hoping you would see the futility of your attempts. Now it is time you learned you will have to be punished for your actions. You will be placed in solitary.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson. Will I have to see the beak?
The visiting justice. No, I will not make an official charge of it this time, but for goodness sake, learn by your mistakes.
Oh, I do, Mrs. Davidson, all the time.
24 hours in solitary, Mrs. Powell.
I reckon old Davo's got a bloody cheek expecting us to wet nurse that rotten Kate.
Well, that's what I get for being one of the good guys, I guess. You know, I'm not exactly frightened of Mari, but I don't see any point in standing by and letting trouble catch me.
Especially her. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if she knew something about Sandy's disappearance.
Oh, I doubt that, love. Sandy's a very cluey lady. I think she would have planned that escape for quite some time.
Yeah? Have you seen Suze lately?
No, not since Fawkner took her off for kitchen duty.
Well, I'm going to find her. You take me plate back, will you, love?
Of course, I'm one of the good guys, remember?
Peterson, when you finish your meal, go and pack up your things.
Has my transfer been arranged?
You're changing to another cell, that's all. Nothing to get excited about.
Lost me balance and fell in the garbage bin.
You never.
She tried another little breakout and got a day in the pound for her trouble.
Oh, God, Suze, you didn't try to escape in the garbage, did you? You could have been killed.
Yeah, she realises that now. Come on, Susan, get some clothes on.
Will I get my dinner in solitary, Mrs. Powell? I missed out.
Won't hurt you to go without. You're not going to starve before breakfast. Come on, hurry up.
Fair go, Mrs. Powell. She's only a little slip of a thing and she needs a tucker.
Mind your own business.
Oh, it's not fair, shoving a little kid like that in the pound.
It's obviously for her own good. Now go on. Go and take over her duties in the kitchen. Birdsworth? While you're there, make up a meal on a tray and bring it to me on the top floor.
Bryant, I want to talk to you.
I'm choosy who I talk to.
Do you know why your mate Smith got stuck in the bank cells? Because our good friend Peterson's been lagging to the cops. She must have made up a doozy of a story about poor old Smith.
So?
Well, I reckon that'll kind of stir up feelings of revenge, don't you?
Look, leave me out of this.
But you ain't out of it, are you? Oh, you were for a little while, but it didn't take long before you was right back in it again.
I think you'd better know something. They're moving Kate in with me.
Oh, good. So you can be right there on hand when I come round with a little housewarming present for you.
Now, listen to me. I don't like Kate any more than you do, but I don't give 2 cents for your stupid power games. My cell is the only home I've got, and I will have no violence in my space. Do you understand?
I reckon you better think twice about that.
I don't.
Mrs. Powell.
Here you go. A meal.
But I thought you said...
Yes, well, you know what they say about gift horses. It isn't much, but you were too late for dinner. Not exactly the Ritz, is it?
I've been in worse.
Yes, well, you will be here more often unless you learn to settle down.
Maybe.
No, Susie, not maybe. Definitely. Go on. Eat your dinner. Keep your strength up.
For the next time, you mean?
You ready? Well, come on, you know where Bryant's cell is. Why haven't you stripped the bed? You'll have to have the same sheets.
I can't.
Who did this?
One of them, all of them. Does it matter? They're all against me.
You'll clean it up.
Why should I?
Because you won't get clean linen until you do.
Look, it's not my fault. They all keep harassing me.
You don't expect me to do it for you, do you?
Get one of them to do it then. I keep telling Mrs. Powell I should be transferred, but she just won't listen to me.
Take those to the laundry, then move in with Bryant. Well, come on, move.
You don't approve, do you?
What of?
My moving in here.
Did you have a choice? Neither did I.
What do you mean?
I've been appointed as your bodyguard.
You know, I really don't know why Ma is out to get me. I've done nothing.
Well, neither have I. That doesn't mean I'm not going to spend the rest of my life in here.
But you only have to prove your innocence.
You can't buck the system, Kate. You ought to know that by now. Didn't stop you from shouting out not guilty when they dragged you in here. And then when you get here, you've got another system to worry about, the prisoners. No matter what you do, you're going to end up crossing somebody. In this place, you can't sit on the fence, Kate. Just remember that.
Oh, it's the honeymoon couple. How was your first night?
Just ignore her. I'm not getting in any scraps because you can't keep your mouth shut.
Hey, I'd watch her if I was you, Bryant. She might tell the screws about your hoard of girly magazines.
Oh, give it a break, Mary.
On the other hand, she might decide she wants to sell for herself and bump you off like she did with Edwards.
I didn't. She was alive when I last saw her. I told you that.
Yeah, and you know why I don't believe that fairy story, don't you, lagger?
Just forget it, Maury.
I warned you, Bryant. Keep out of it. It's a funny thing about dogs. They stink in the rain and the smell rubs off.
I didn't do anything to Sandy, I swear it.
Well, don't tell me. I'm not Maury. I'm not interested in your corridor brawls.
Everything she says is lies.
Oh, well, you're pretty good in that department yourself.
What do you mean?
It's just that I think you would say anything to get yourself out of the spot.
That's not true. Look, I've tried to be as honest as I can be with everyone in here.
Oh, really?
Judy, we have to have trust between us. We're going to be friends.
Friends? Whatever gave you that idea?
You told Mrs. Davidson you'd help me.
Let's you and I get one thing straight. I am not interested in putting you on my mailing list. Dave moved you into my cell, that's one thing. But I've already told Mari I don't want any trouble. So you are going to have to start looking after yourself because I am not playing nursemaid to you every second of the day. And you can start by moving to another table.
Wow, what was all that about?
Oh, now she wants to be friends.
She's got a nerve, she has. Hey, watch out for me, Tucker, will you? I'll be back in a shake. Mr. Fawkner.
What is it, Birdsworth?
Is that Susie's breaking?
Yes, it is. Why?
Oh, let me take you to her.
Oh, I don't think so. Martin's quite capable.
Oh, go on.
I don't think I could let you carry it all the way to the top floor. I'd be reported to the Cruelty to Little Old Ladies Society.
Oh, I'm stronger than most of the people half my age. Give me the tray.
I said no, Birdsworth. You're only after an excuse to chat to her.
Well, what's the harm in that? Mrs. Powell let me chat to her last night.
You don't expect me to believe that, do you?
You could try.
Oh, all right. Give her the tray and go back to the dining room.
You're a good sort, Mr. Fawkner. Susie'll really appreciate having a visit from an old mate. Kid like that stuck in solitary and her folks having walked out on her.
Just carry the tray, will you?
Yes, Mr. Fawkner.
G'day, lagger. There's no way out, Doc. You've had it this time. Now, supposing you tell me exactly what happened to Edwards. A sort of deathbed confession.
Oh, you're mad. I told you I did nothing to her.
What about the knife?
Well, I found it by the rubbish bin.
You're lying, Doc. And it's not going to get you anywhere at all. You see, I'm going to kill you for lagging. Not for getting rid of Edwards. You did me a favour by doing that. I'm just curious about how you did it.
I'll scream. The officers will come.
Oh, they're tied up in the dining room. By the time they get here, we'll be gone and you'll be slightly dead.
Don't let me interrupt.
That's pretty smart of you, Bryant.
Judy, for God's sake.
You realize, of course, if you kill her, you'll have to kill me, too.
What?
You heard me. And oh, I'll put up a lot stronger fight than she does. Now, that's going to be pretty hard to explain to the screws, isn't it? 2 dead bodies and the 3 of you with your faces smashed in. Of course, you could ignore me. But then I'll go straight to the governor and I'll tell her everything I've seen.
You know what happens to laggers?
Yeah, well, like you said, the sting of a dog wears off.
You fat bitch.
You listen to me, mate. I've already told you that I'm fed up to here with your petty squabbles. Now, if you want to do that, you do it somewhere else, because you're not doing it here.
Let's get out of here. You keep, Peterson. You keep. Get out.
Thank God you arrived in time. In time for what? What's that for?
The closest thing I've got to a life insurance policy in here.
Of course, I've been a sort of grandma to all the kids that come in here. Some of them come back from time to time. G'day, love. How are you?
Not too bad.
Birdsworth, there's no talking in this block. She's here for punishment.
God, it's punishment enough being locked in a lousy dump like this with no decent bed to lie on.
Come on, hand over the breakfast and get out.
Yeah. It's only that rotten muck they call porridge, love, and it's probably cold by now.
That's all right.
You'll be out of here soon.
Birdsworth?
Won't you, Mr. Fawkner?
Yeah, sure. Just as soon as the governor gives the word. Now, come on, out.
It's not too bad in here, Lizzie. It gives me a chance to think.
Now, if you're thinking of trying to escape, you just come and talk to me and I'll talk you out of it. Won't I, Mr. Fawkner? I'll see you later, love, when I come back for the dirty plate.
Oh, no, you won't.
Oh, yes, I will.
The explanation had better be good. And if I'd been half an inch closer, I'd be suffering concussion by now.
And there was no cause, no provocation?
Mrs. Davidson, I have better things to do with my time than harass Peterson.
Of course, I wasn't suggesting that. I can just see no reason why she would do it.
Oh, gave a usual excuse of the women being out to get her. No one else in the block. I'm beginning to think your suggestion of paranoia isn't too far wrong.
Where is she now?
I took her straight to solitary. Do you want to see her?
Oh, I can't see the point. We're not likely to learn anything new. I'll sign the charge sheet. She can be released tomorrow morning.
Right. Thank you.
Hazel? Any news, Mrs. Morris? Child welfare just phoned back. They've given him custody, haven't they? I'm afraid so. But they're my kids. Well, they're George's kids as well, Hazel. And he's in a far better position than you are to look after them. I mean, the court always considers what's best for the children. But I'll be out of here in a couple of months. My mum could look after them till then. Well, they've looked into that. Your mum's been sick. She's just not up to looking after two lively kids all the time. It's just not fair. Some woman I don't even know is going to look after my kids. She's been wonderfully good for them. I mean, she cares about them. And they like her, too. Well, that's what I'm afraid of. I'll arrange for you to get some fresh air. Have a walk outside.
I was at the main desk. Yes, I'd like to leave a message for a passenger, please. The name is Ian Marnie, and it's flight 17 from Sydney. The message is, can't meet you, I'll see you later, Janet Conway. Yeah, Conway? Right, thank you very much.
Are you busy?
Oh, not really. I was just going to go and patrol A block.
Well, I was wondering if you'd take Hazel out into the garden. She needs to be alone. I'm supposed to be getting Susie out of solitary.
Sure. What's the matter?
Child welfare is supporting George's claim for custody. Well, it's not surprising. She really didn't stand a chance.
Oh, it's a bit rough. Men.
Well, seems rather a decent sort of bloke to me. He's looked after her for years. But you know how things happen when people are separated for so long.
All right, Kent, come along. Not the end of the world, you know. In time, everything will be all right.
Yeah, sure. It's time that got me into this mess.
It's not as if you'll never see them again. When you get out of here, you'll have access to them.
Great. A couple of days a week, then it's back to their father and his lover.
Yeah, well, that might be better than seeing them every day. You might enjoy it more.
What would you know? Have you got kids?
Oh, no, I haven't, but, well, my parents were separated when I was 8, and my stepfather was a wonderful man. He worked all hours to give us everything, and yet he was always there when we needed him. Oh, not that we didn't still love our father. In fact, I think we got closer to him after the divorce.
How can I get closer to my kids stuck in this dump? By the time I get out, they'll have forgotten all about me.
No, they won't. You've been in here a long time already, and they haven't forgotten you yet.
What's the point in talking? It's not going to change nothing. They're my kids and they're getting a new mother.
They're not. You're their mother and no one can take your place.
Well, just leave me alone, can't you? Come along, Susie. Expect you're glad to be out of there.
I suppose so. A cell's a cell.
Well, the beds are a lot more comfortable in the dormitories.
Don't notice when you're asleep.
Well, when you get back to work, you'll find the time will go a lot faster. Susie, you all right?
Of course. Why shouldn't I be?
Come on. The governor wants to see you.
What is Ken doing out here? Well, Mrs. Morris thought she ought to have some fresh air. She's had some bad news about her children.
Oh, hell, they've all got problems. We can't be expected to give them special treatment. Oh, just give her a few more minutes. I'll get Mrs. Barry to cover for you an A-block. Oh, lovely boy. How are you?
Hello? What's your name? I'm Hazel. I've got a little girl too. Her name's Barbara. Do you want this back? Can you catch?
Justine, come away, please.
Oh, she's all right. I don't mind.
Well, you've got to learn not to go wandering off and talking to people in here.
Well, I'm not going to hurt her.
Well, I didn't say you were.
There's no harm in being friendly. God, you're all the same, you so-called respectable people, aren't you? You never give a person a chance.
Now, come on, Hazel.
I got kids of my own too, you know, and I love them.
Calm down,
I'm a good mother, despite what you might think. Who the hell do you think you are, anyway?
Calm down.
I only wanted to say hello.
Stay here with her. I'll go and get the sisters, see if she can get something to calm her down.
Sure. Hazel, I know you're angry about what's happened, but acting like this isn't going to help anything.
Acting like what? All I did was say hello to a little kid. I didn't offer a ball lollies or nothing.
Well, maybe your mother thought that she was bothering you.
Oh, crap. I told her she wasn't. No, she just didn't want a little baby talking to a dangerous grim. Just like the people at child welfare. They're so far up themselves, playing God, running other people's lives.
Yeah, well, they have to make the decisions that are best for the children's good.
Well, who are they to judge? What right have they got?
Sometimes outsiders can judge better than the people involved.
Well, no one can tell me how much I love my kids.
I didn't mean that you don't love your children.
Get out and leave me alone, will you?
Well, it's the Quicksilver Kid. How are you, love?
Not too bad.
Oh, how was it in the pound, Suze? Geez, we missed you.
I know you've all got 100 things to say to Susie, but let's not make it an excuse to stop work, shall we?
That was tough luck, Suze, getting sprung by Powell.
I don't know. I'd have been a goner if I went in the garbage truck.
Well, good idea, but...
Nah, it stunk like hell.
Now, listen here. I know we told you to be careful who you talked your plans over with, but I think you should really come to us. We might be able to help you.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Jude.
No, you reckon you'll ever get out of here, Suze?
Of course I will.
Hey, Jude, you remember when you and me got out through the drains?
I've been trying to forget it ever since, Mouse.
Oh, yeah, real exciting that was. It was a bit scary, too.
Yeah. Oh, I'll find a way. I've got to track my mum down, and I can't do it while I'm in here.
God, do you reckon you'll find her after all these years?
Oh, I met up with you again, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh, I suppose.
Well, look at you all dressed up. Off for a night on the town?
No, I'm just going to have a drink at the Arms with a friend.
Uh-huh. Tall, dark and handsome?
No. She's blonde, plump and middle-aged and works for social welfare.
Can't win 'em all. Well, think of me slogging up and down the corridors all night. Ah, here's another one getting away from it all. Roll on, 8 a.m.
What's the matter with her? Night shift blues. No, and what's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't know. I've just been talking to Hazel Kent. I think her depression must be catching.
Yes, poor Hazel. She's stuck whichever way she turns.
I know you said you thought her husband was a decent sort of bloke, but I still think he's to blame. Men never think of anything but themselves.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to point the finger either way. Anyway, I know the best cure yet for contagious depression. A drink at the Arms.
Thank you, Meg, but no, I can't.
Oh, come on. I'm meeting a friend there. She's a laugh a minute. You'll love her.
Yeah, well, I've got to go over and see Ian. He's just come back from Sydney.
Now, there's the best excuse yet for stopping off for a drink. You don't want to appear too eager without Mr. Marnie.
All right, give me 5 minutes and I'll get changed.
Sure.
Dirt? Eh?
What are you doing, Mouse?
What do you mean?
You don't spell spider like that.
How do you spell it then?
I-S-P-I-D-E-R.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
She's right, you know, Mass.
Hurry up.
Hey, you don't spell ready like that either. Oh, I don't mean like ready to do something. I mean a sort of red colour.
There is no such word as ready, and if there was, it'd have 2 D's.
Of course it wouldn't. Or how do you spell ready, Hayes?
I don't know.
Fancy a game, Hazel? It's better with 4.
No.
Oh, go on, Hayes. Think you can help me. Oh, I'm not too good at spelling. Anyway, it's not ready, it's reddish. Huh?
Reddish!
Oh, don't be stupid. That's the thing you put in a salad.
Oh, my God.
If you're just going to poke fun at me all the time, I'm going.
Oh, stupid bitch. Ah, she'll get over it. Just hope she does.
Oh, see you tomorrow, Judy. Bye. You ready?
Yeah, I'm just going to call Ian and tell him I'll be around there later.
Oh, this concern of yours is very touchy. Bet he wouldn't do the same for you.
I'll only be a second.
Janet?
Hello, Ian Marnie speaking.
What are you doing here?
Well, I got your message at the airport. I thought I might as well meet you here instead.
Well, I've arranged to go to the Arms with Meg for a drink.
Ah.
Well, you're most welcome to join us if you don't mind the company of 3 women.
Truth, you'd be jacking, wouldn't you? What, me on me jack with a mob of Sheilas?
Yo, come on, I've already kept Meg waiting long enough.
Well, if you don't mind, Meg, I'd really prefer not to.
No, of course not. Any other time. Well, I better be going or Joan will be wondering where I am. Bye.
That was a bit rude.
I don't think Meg was offended.
Well, where are we going?
Well, I don't mind. Anywhere, as long as it's private. I've got something I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Think that's wise?
Of course I do. What's wrong with a little display of affection?
Or would your wife approve?
My ex-wife is not concerned in the least.
Now, I thought you were only separated. Are you telling me you got a quick divorce when you're in Sydney?
Well, to tell you the truth, we have been divorced for about 18 months.
So what's the idea of the separation story?
Defense mechanism, I guess. Keep all those women at arm's length. You know, it's amazing what women will do if they find out that a man is totally unattached.
Aren't you worried about the way I'll react now?
I'm banking on it. Now, you see, my wife and I, well, my ex-wife and I were still partners in a business in Sydney. I had to go up there to legally dissolve the partnership, to sign all the papers and that sort of stuff.
Why do it now if it worked so perfectly well for 18 months?
I suppose I just wanted to rid myself of all those sort of ties. Start with a fresh slate.
Start what?
What do you think?
You are presuming a lot. Now, we have hardly been out together.
So now's a good time to start.
Oh, you fancy a cuppa?
Oh, thanks, Jude. I'm out of coffee till the next buy-up.
Hey, you shouldn't have run out so soon, you know. Coffee's not that good for you.
Oh, no, I swapped it with Pam for some chocolate bickies.
Well, chocolate bickies aren't that good for you either. Hey, Hazel, it's open house at the Bryant residence. You feel like a cup?
No.
Poor bitch.
It must be awful having your kids taken away from you like that. I know how they must feel.
Yeah. Well, you have to use Kate's mug here. She won't be needing it, not where she is.
My mum must have gone through what Hazel's going through now. Oh, she'd have never given me up if she didn't have to. She was a lovely lady.
Yeah, I'm sure she was. Listen, Susie. Sometimes, honey, when things are going really bad, you think to yourself that they're never going to get any better. And maybe it's best for you to give your kid away, to put her up for adoption. I mean, at least that way you feel she'll probably go to a good home and they'll be able to give her things that you never could.
Yeah, my mum wouldn't have done that, but she'd have kept me with her if she could. That's why she never had me adopted.
Well, why did she give you away?
I don't know. You know what it's like when you're a little kid. No one ever tells you anything because they reckon you won't understand. So you make up your own reasons. Most of the time they're all wrong. And that's why I've got to get out to find her, so as I can find out the truth.
You know, you haven't even said you're glad to see me back.
Of course I am.
Oh, I'm glad you're glad. Still got nothing to say. I bet you wouldn't be this quiet if you'd been out with Meg and the rest of them. I know what you women are like when you get together.
Now tell me, Janet, are you still seeing that ridiculous fellow from the print room?
That was terrible.
So is he.
And now, folks, my world-famous impression of a human being.
Look, Ian, I haven't really thought this thing through yet. Now, this afternoon, I was looking forward to seeing a married man with whom I may or may not have an affair, who may or may not go back to his wife eventually. Now you say it is a completely different ballgame.
Would you rather I left so that you can have a think about it?
I don't know. Maybe. I had a relationship with a man and I made a complete and utter fool of myself. Now, I don't ever want to do that again.
Well, why not? I do it all the time. Look, Janet, you take all the time that you want. I know how I feel about you. And whatever you want, if it's friendship with no strings attached, I'll go along with that, okay? I'll see you later. I've got some unpacking to do.
Come along, ladies. We haven't got all day.
Could do without this after a double night shift.
Why? What's wrong?
Kent. She was damned insolent when I told her to go for a shower, so I'm putting her on report now.
Sue, she's not handling things too well at the moment. Let me sort it out, will you?
You're welcome.
And don't put her on report, please.
All right, you sort her out.
Hazel?
Leave me alone.
Come on. You've got to get up.
I haven't got to do anything.
I've managed to persuade Miss Bailey not to report you. But if you don't get up, there'll be trouble.
You make me laugh, you know that. There'll be trouble, will there?
All right. Lie there feeling sorry for yourself. Let everyone walk all over you. Who cares? I'll keep Miss Bailey on side for 5 more minutes. If you don't get up by then, I'll sign her report as well.
I don't know what Meg said to her, but it did the trick. It doesn't seem to have cheered her up at all.
It's not surprising. Keep an eye on her, though.
Oh, night shifts don't suit me.
So, what
What's your next plan, Suze?
I don't know. I'll have to keep my eyes open for a while. Hey, Judy, have you got any suggestions?
Yeah. I reckon what you ought to do, get some old sheets, make a hang glider, and fly yourself off the roof.
Oh, wouldn't that be dangerous?
I was out serious, Mouse.
Well, what do you reckon the chances of pinching one of the screws' car keys are?
Oh, Buckley's love. You have a better chance flying off the roof. Anyway, you're too young to drive.
Oh, don't bet on it. How do you reckon I got out of Winston Lee Girls' Home?
Oh, yeah? Well, how'd they catch you?
I ran into a hedge. Well, the principal didn't press charges, so I couldn't get arrested for that.
I'll tell you what, I've never known anyone as keen to get out of this place as you are.
Don't you think I want to get out of here? They're taking everything from me!
I'll get her. Well, all right, come on, get on with your breakfast. Stop gawking and eat. All right, Clint. Calm down. Let's go back to your room nice and quiet.
I'm not going with you.
Come on, let's
I'm
go
sick
back
of
to your
being
cell.
told when to eat and when to sleep in this place.
Pull yourself together.
You lock me up in here and you
Come on.
take your kids away from me and you won't let me see my kids. No! Now just get away from me, you bitch! Now just leave me alone, can't you?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.